Hey guys, so I've put together a video here of 5 hidden gems in Neverwinter, things you didn't know existed, or still existed, or were even possible. So, I mean, come on, let's check it out.
I will stay here and guard the entrance.
Yeah, he talks. Okay guys, so let's count it down. We're looking at the 5th one. We'll go 5 to 1. Least interesting to most interesting. And we're starting off in the Spellplay Caverns. This is not the master version. The master version, this room is used for the Mimic King. And it is accessible. However, this is just the regular version. And as far as I know, it's not accessible usually. As far as I know. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's why this is in 5th place, because I'm not 100% sure. However, I came in here through parkour. A little background history. A lot of the dungeons used to be way longer, and you're going to see that consistently throughout this video. And in some areas of the dungeon, there are still these old, deleted, or hidden bosses. Normally, Neverwinter just seems to add boundaries and just call it a day, instead of manually removing them. I guess it's easier. But either way, in this room we have Oculus the Inflamed. These are like bosses from like Module 2 days that a lot of people don't really get the opportunity to see, fight, or explore. So I think it's really cool that I could find it. It's just I'm not 100% sure if this actually requires parkour or not. But either way, that's why it's in 5th place. But aesthetically, it's a beautiful dungeon. Okay, so the next one that I want to look at is the Temple of the Spider. Basically, off the map, there is a room, and make sure you have a dungeon kit if you're going in, and you can use this dungeon kit and it unlocks a door. I did some research, and this was officially the part of a part of the Temple of the Spider back in like Module 2 days. So we're talking like 2014 kind of deal. And it takes you to a massive actually mini dungeon. There's no enemies, no utility kits, lots of traps, and best part, there is actually a unique piece of lore that you cannot get anywhere else. If you really like lore, feel free to pause the video here. It's open on the screen. Just read it. I'm not going to read it though because that'll take way too long, but it's pretty cool. Some of the materials I do notice are jet black. My guess is that they're not used by the cryptic team anymore, and they were just deleted, and thus they don't really function or show in the dungeon anymore, but it's okay. There's things like that ceiling caving in. I kind of mentioning it late. There's also hidden doors. This one takes you kind of back to the start. You've seen that in different dungeons as well. But further down the dungeon, there is another door. And it actually takes you to the boss room. Or what used to be the boss room back in like those Module 2 days. Which is pretty cool. Just be careful of the traps. All in all though, this is a pretty big dungeon. And I'm quite surprised that it's still here. I don't really know why you would remove everything else in here and not remove it itself. But either way, I'm not mad. This is really awesome. Okay, so the next one that I want to look at is from the Cragmire Crypts. You can find this in either the epic or the regular version, and that would be the boss, the Daughter of Loth. Again, 2013, 2014, Module 2 versions of the dungeons. These are the very original versions. They had all these little bosses. They had extra bosses, extra rooms, extra hallways, extra mobs, etc. And the Daughter of Loth is just another one of them. And again, this is in the regular live server. You can just parkour your way up and fight her. There's not really any rewards to be gained, but it is a really cool experience just because she's not a boss that a lot of newer players within even the last few years have ever seen before or fought before. So it's just cool finding that extra boss, you know what I mean? Additionally, she doesn't drop anything. In the past, she would have dropped the armor of Loth, which now if you try to buy that armor, holy smokes, it's upwards like 2 to 5 mil on the auction house on PC, or even higher. So she doesn't drop anything now, but still, it's a cool little piece of history. So I enjoyed it. We all enjoyed it. Thanks to my Alliance people for joining and making this run possible. So I wasn't sure if I wanted to put this in first or second, but just because I think more people know about this, I'm putting in second. So in River District, when you enter a crypt, you're actually entering a leftover version, I guess you say, of a dungeon that used to be called the Throne of Idris. I believe it's still used in the Tales of Old events. However, this used to be a regular dungeon attached to the Ebon Downs area of Neverwinter. I believe that was the area. And it was a full dungeon, just like any other dungeon, and you could essentially run it. It had bosses and everything. However, it was since removed from the game many years ago, I think about 5 years ago. So aside from the event, there's not really a way to fully access it. However, in the crypt, they use an excerpt of the dungeon just for the crypt, and instead of just copying that room, they copied the entire dungeon. So this is like a little Easter egg that kind of exists in the game. It's kind of weird, but it is a full-blown detailed dungeon within the crypt. It's one of the coolest things hiding in the game, and I know some people know about it, but I don't think enough people know about it. So that's why I really wanted to mention it. It's a great looking dungeon. It was always my favorite back in the day. I liked the Throne of Idris. So being able to come here and explore it whenever I want is really, really fun. So the last one I want to mention is one you've probably seen in my videos already, and I don't think anyone else really knows about it. It was shown to me by a friend who also loves parkour. And basically there's a point where you jump out of Protector's Enclave and you land on top of this giant building. And you'll probably recognize it from the intro quests. It's quite big. One of the cool things that really stands out is it has its own respawn point. So when you're inside any of the buildings in Protector's Enclave and you die, you respawn back in this building. And like I said, this building is quite big. Running through it, you will recognize it. Like I said, it is basically a replica of the starting quest when you make a new character, or what used to be the starting quest. I think they've changed it now, but this is the area you used to go through. You'd fight the Gnashers, you'd get to level, I don't know, level 4, level 5, something like that. And yeah, that's just what I remember from this. Something else that it has that's really cool is it has the only utility kit that you will ever find in Protector's Enclave. It's just one of the Arcanist kits, and it gives rewards. Like, it's usable, it's workable. It's the only one in Protector's Enclave. It's so weird. Oh, but either way, it's a really, really fantastic place to visit, check out. There's a couple other hidden things in here that I'm not gonna mention right now because I'm saving those for another video. So, I mean, stay tuned for those. But either way, it's really awesome. I really like this place. Thank you, Rurex, for showing me this, because I probably would have never have found it on my own. So, yeah. Alright guys, that wraps it up. Here's another little bonus one of a dragon named Stag in Nostura. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. I'd appreciate it. And stay tuned for more because I have a lot more hidden things in the game to check out. So, yeah. Ciao for now.